Hey everybody, welcome back to video number 2 in our favorites of 2023 series. Before we get into this video, if you didn't check out our last one, we are doing what I would call a fundraiser. We like to donate to charity where we can. So if you are seeing this shirt, Save the Seas, for essentially every 1,000 views we get on this video or any of the other ones before December 31st of 2023, we will be donating $5 per every 1,000 views to a very great local charity in Seattle that specializes in ocean restoration, which is very great. It's nice to keep our seas and oceans clean so all the animals can be extra happy. So with that, we're gonna jump into this video, which is our favorite lenses of 2023. And it is kind of surprising that none of them are that expensive. Okay, we've broken this down into 3 categories: our favorite vintagey type lens, our favorite modern-y type lens, and our favorite anamorphic. And it is important to remember, this is just my opinion. I shoot a lot. I like lenses. We have a ton here in the rental house, and this is just my opinion on what I've been really enjoying this year and what's been popular as rental items as well. So with that, let's jump into it. First, let's talk about, let's go our favorite modern, clean looking lens. And for that, we've got these new Nisi Athenas. Now, these lenses are dirt cheap, all things considered. For the performance of these, if you put these on a projector, shoot charts, these lenses are outperforming things that are 10 times the price. Now, not only that, they're insanely small, being 77 millimeter screw-on with an 80 mil outer diameter, full VistaVision coverage, and then some. These all 5 cover the full width of the Fuji GFX sensor, which is absolutely crazy to me that something this small can do that and do it pretty well. And if you like or want to add character, shooting these on that sensor actually is really awesome because you do start to get some light bleed and some wild stuff happening on the edges. But if you're shooting just VistaVision or full frame, these things cover great and perform super well and are very cheap. These have been going out a lot on rentals so far. And to be honest, for a lot of the corporate work I shoot or some of the stuff where clients aren't really settled on a look and maybe want to make that decision later, with stuff like scatter and film convert or de-enhancer, you really have the option to do all kinds of stuff with these in Resolve to give them kind of a different feel if you do want to go that way. Think of The Killer on Netflix. Now, they shot on something very clean like the Summilux Cs and then did all kinds of wild stuff in post to make them feel anamorphic. So there's loads of stuff you can do now with a clean modern lens if you want to make those decisions later. Now, Nisi Athenas, super cool, super great, insanely well performing, especially for the price if you're after that clean, modern look. Now, we'll move on to our more vintage. Now, I don't want this to seem like self-promotion, but these Canon V35s, I got to help design with Duclos to be really everything I've ever wanted out of a lens. Beautiful skin tones, blooming wide open, some sharpness that falls off very great towards the end. The fall off is very, very nice from what's in focus to out of focus. And these are just Canon C&E lenses that have been around forever that we have essentially detuned and come up with our own look to feel like an old lens of the past. Now, the things that we like about these is that these are all modern. So realistically, if anything were to happen to it, you could just get parts from Canon to make your repairs. You don't have to go through a lengthy process of doing something with, let's say, a rehouse lens where there might be a lot of downtime in between a repair or getting things fixed if you were to, say, drop the lens or something of that nature. Now, we have added kind of this speckle coating into our coatings, which is what I think is a first. You don't really see that. Usually you look through a lens and it's pretty clear all the way through. With this, you get this really nice ambery sparkle that goes through and really helps with the halation and bloom when you're shooting these more wide open. But the nice thing about these is that as you stop down, you do keep that all the way through and it just degrades a little bit over time. It's not like a lot of lenses where you're only getting a ton of the character wide open and as soon as you stop down, a lot of that disappears. So these are the Canon V35, something that's very special to us. And I still, every time I put these on a camera, I'm just like, damn, that looks good. I keep wanting to go into these as often as I can, whenever budget allows, and I have the right story. This is a lens that I will go to as often as possible. Now let's talk about anamorphic. We are getting into the Viltrox 1.3, Epix. Now, some people might be like, it's a 1.3, this is not an anamorphic lens, hardly. I think Viltrox has done an insanely good job with kind of adding all the elements of anamorphic by still having a lens that is very, very useful on multiple formats. You can pretty much shoot any format you want with this and get a really great deliverable right off the get-go. So the 133s, they do have this very interesting oval insert by the center of the lens near the iris, which does kind of mimic that oval bokeh you get with something like a 1.5, 1.6, even a 2x lens, depending on the focal length. So you really do see that in the footage. Simultaneously, you get really great flares when you're shooting into the sun and things like that, and when you're not, you don't get really overbearing wild flares either. Mechanics are great, skin tones look good, covers full frame very well. If you do want to use this as a starting block to do something crazy in post, you can. If you want to take these back and make them a little more neutral, you can. Everything about these is a great starting place for a very neutral anamorphic, which is something I prefer. It's not every job wants something wild, but if they change their mind, which clients tend to do, I've got some options in post to really do whatever I want with this. And since it is a 1.3, it is a squeeze factor. It is anamorphic, and you can feel that in the footage compared to just a spherical lens. Now, these lenses, weirdly enough here at our rental house, despite having lots of other options, have been the most popular lens set rented by a country mile this year. I think so far we've had these out something like 70 days on set, whereas the next closest set is only in the 20s. So with so many lens sets available on the market, it's wild that something like this has gone out so consistently and so often this year, which makes me feel better about the purchase. And honestly, I can use this on pretty much everything. If a client wants a 16:9 deliverable, I can shoot in 4:3 and pretty much get something very close to that right off the gate. I can pretty much take these on anything if I want that look. And now with these Viltrox, the 25 and the 100 are beginning to ship in this set as well. So you'll have a 5 lens set, 25, 35, 50, 75, and 100. That is going to be a really fantastic, full-fledged set where you can go out and kind of shoot whatever you want. So those are our favorite lenses of 2023. I can't wait to see what 2024 holds in stock. And I hope everyone gets off to a great start in 2024 with an abundance of work. And thank you so much for watching our channel this year. We really appreciate it. And if you're new, remember, like and subscribe for new content. As we get it, we'll put it up. So with that, we'll catch you next time.